I want to start from scratch from the Mishnah and then going through the Rambam B'siyata Dishmaya. It seems that Rambam has one way how to learn the Gemara, not like Tosfos. So we'll focus Be'ezer Hashem today on the Rambam and next week on Tosfos. So the Mishnah starts off Arba Ovois Nezikin. Basic question, why it's described as an Ovos. Av, it's a fathers, and tate, and then you have Avot and Toladot. So I'm repeating some of the questions that we asked on the previous year because we're going to have a different answer today. B'siyata Dishmaya. And so why it's called Arba Ovos? What's the significance of calling it fathers? And why a category being called a father in general? You can blur it down. No, the other one? Yeah, you're perfect. Yeah, you're right. Why it's called Ovos? Question number 2. Why it's called Arba Ovos Nezikin? Why do we call it Nezikin and not Arba Avot Mazikin? Metzuyan. Then we are going through the list. It seems that this list is not exactly same as the list in the Torah. In the list in the Torah, although Rashi says we begin like the list in the Torah, but the list in the Torah is not exact, same as the list that we have here, Shor, Bor, Mave, and Ever. So that's needed explanation, although we started like the list in the Torah, but it is not exactly like the list in the Torah, so why it's been listed like that? The other shaila, which is very, very difficult to deal with, we are going through a long Lo harei zeh keharei zeh, Velo harei zeh keharei zeh. By the maskone of the Gemara, by the end of the Gemara conclude that this Lo harei, it's irrelevant. Because you can really learn one from the other. The only reason the Torah wrote all those, Tana Bo Lekarno, Shen Lesheno, each one has a special reason why it's being learned by itself. So Bemet, all of these arichus, the length of the Mishnah, it's not really necessary. It's already being included in you can learn one from the other. So why the Mishnah go through it when it's not needed? If you don't need all this Lo harei, and you can learn, the Gemara says, Kulo, Ishadit Bor, you can write 2 with Bor, and you're learning everything. So I don't need a total 4. So the Gemara Mechadesh, I need each one. Chumret, the one is not like the Chumra of the other one. Why it's so important? Why it's crucial to say that when Balemaise, I don't Bechlal learn from it. The opening shaila of all this concept of Nezokim is, why Bechlal do we need a posuk in the Torah to tell me that you are chayav? The Torah is telling us, if your animal mazik something, you are chayav. Isn't logic for a belonging of a person to be chayav? Why do we need the Torah to write it? Let's see there. We have 2 Gemaras. We have the Gemara in Erchin. So the Mocha in Erchin learns, if someone was supposed to Yoitze le'aharek, he's supposed to get killed, he's supposed to get misa, and as he was Yoitze le'aharek, he was damaging other people's properties, the Gemara conclude that he is chayav. Can he pay for it? He's dead. Who's going to pay for it? The Yesoimim. Hers, נכון? היורשים. Heirs. The Yorshim.
Without the H. Heirs.
מואבים.
Heir to the throne. Heir to the throne.
תדגיש את האי.
Okay. Heirs. Okay, heirs. The heirs will pay for it. So the Gemara learns that why the heirs will have to pay for it. Milve aksuva, paying for what he damaged, is considered as a loan, as a milve. Are you managed with the background?
Yeah, we'll be fine. Without time.
Huh?
Without.
The
rain's pretty distracting.
זה נותן אווירה של בית מדרש.
מה אתה אומר?
נותן אווירה של בית מדרש.
אוקיי, זה כאילו בסמל. Rambam is taking care of it.
Rabbi, the rain's pretty
Another
distracting.
divider over here, huh?
You turn off the rain, it's a bit distracting.
Okay, weiter. My father, his hearing is not the greatest, so he has a hard time realizing what's going on. Yeah, you can go upstairs to the office. Okay. Let me see. Amram, אנחנו בסדר? Amram, אנחנו בסדר? Okay, weiter. Let's make it happen. Okay, so the Gemara in the Dorim says,
Extra loud helps.
the microphone. The Gemara, then my father will be able to do. The Gemara in Erchin says that a nezikin is considered as equivalent to a loan. Okay, milve aksuve batero dami. The shaila is, loan I can understand why it's in the responsibility of the heirs, because you borrowed money, you have an asset of somebody else but you, so the heirs are responsible to return the asset that you took from somebody else and return it to him. A regular loan. However, when it's referring, when we are talking about damages, it's not, why damages? It's a responsibility on me. My animal damage, nachon? If my animal damage, I need to compensate the guy that is animal damage. Why it's considered as a shiabud? There is a lien on me on the Torah when I didn't do anything. You're right, I am the owner of my animal. However, in fact, you cannot compare. The Gemara says it's like a milve, like a loan. Loan and a loan, אני חושב שכן כדאי להגיד, אבל לצורך יותר מדי, למעלה במשרד, יש שם את המפתח של המשרד. So the shaila is, too many noises from all over, you know? So the shaila is, why באמת, milve, why a damage being called a milve, a loan? A loan is something personal that I took from somebody else. Am I responsible to pay it back? And therefore the heirs taking my personal responsibility. On a damage, it is nothing personal of me. My animal caused a damage, and this damage that was caused by my animal, I need to compensate the guy. How can you make a shiabud? How can you make a lien on the guy to force them to pay?
Can you ask that same question if your 11-year-old son throws a rock through the window?
Very good question. If your 11-year-old son throws, you're not chayav to pay.
For
Katan
3
shezik,
times.
the father will be
13 years old?
only 13. Katan shezik, the father.
If more than 3 times, then muad. Then it's your
לא, לא,
obligation.
לא, לא,
גם
לא, 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 אין מועד בילד. ילד מועד without 3 times. ילד is מועד, מה?
אז מה, לא שמירתו עליך? אתה יודע שהילד
אתה
מופרע.
לא זוכר את מתן?
הוא היה
לא, היה מועד? כן? לא היה מועד, אוקיי.
תמיד היה מחייך.
No, so 11 years old now, but 13-year-old, yes.
That's not the father's responsibility. 13 years old, it's his own responsibility.
Oh, wait, so I'm sorry. So 11 years old, you are responsible.
No, I'm
Nah.
not responsible.
13 has his own responsibility.
קטן שהזיד
child
הגמרא
kills,
says, חירש שוטה וקטן, פגיעתן רעה. It's a bad damage. Meaning you don't want to be hit by a katan because you don't have who to collect from. Yeah.
I didn't get the meal of Rab. So the meal, why the heirs inherit the loan? Why?
By milve, it was a personal. When I took money from somebody, I'm a shubat to him.
So but that means
Your money is by me. So my responsibility being going over to my heirs.
But
Right.
why? I mean, fine, he's owed something, but the person that owes him is the guy that passed away. So there's no heir. Meaning, what connection is between the heirs and
money that he gets from the original.
Right. They don't need to spend their own money. The money that they inherit, they need to use it and pay with it back.
Oh, okay,
That's why it's
Yeah,
Yerusha
okay,
also
that's
with the
okay.
damage.
Right. So
Are you saying since the animal, you're a lot, you shouldn't, a kid, you're not liable, the animal you'd be liable. Neither of them died. So that's what you're kind of getting at
so
here?
kid, yeah, I mean,
Is
kid
that-
for
is that
sure.
what you're getting at
No, meaning that's another way to ask. Kid, I'm not responsible for my kid. So my animal
You should
is
never be responsible
something.
for the animal also.
I'm okay that I'm to compensate the guy. But to call it a shiabud on me, I have a shiabud to pay it, and that was yeah. Why? Exactly. Why
Because
it's called
shiabud, there
shiabud?
is obligation.
Exactly.
Right. And with the kid, it's not obligated. You don't have.
Yeah, so, but
right.
kids are not issue. I'm comparing nezakim to a milve. The more comparing nezakim to a milve, well, milve there was a shiabud. Here was no shiabud. How can a damage become the shiabud? Tosfos in Ksuva says, milve on the bottom, milve lo chashvina and Ksuva b'Torah. Milve is not considered reading in the Torah. דאפילו למאן דאמר מלווה הכתובה בתורה ככתובה בשטר דמי. Even according to the one elpon of the Torah, as if it's written in shtar, it says, דווקא נזקים וערכין ופדיון הבן. Only damages, ערכין and פדיון הבן, דמסבור אלוהה ומחייבין עליהו. אם לא שחייבתו תורה. So if it's opening up a new concept. מסבורה, your animal, you're not supposed to be chayav for it. So what do you define svore? A logic way, a logic approach of people of what you have to pay, what you don't have to pay. What is simple logic about damages? You have to pay or not?
Sure.
You have to pay. How could Tosfos come with an assumption, misvore, by nezakim, you don't have to pay? The logic is exactly the opposite. Nezakim, the svara is, you have to pay. Why? We approach and we assume that nezakim are not something that you have responsibility to pay. I want to go into the Rambam. So let's start the Rambam first in the Mishnah Torah, and then in the notes in Pirush HaMishnayos. So Perek Aleph, Halacha Aleph. So this Rambam has a lot of words that needs to be explained. Kol nefesh chaya. You have the Rambam? This one. Kol nefesh chaya. Rambam, what's nefesh chaya means? Any living animal shehi birshuto shel adam, that is by the domain of a man, of a human being, shezika, that was damaged, chayavim leshalem. You are chayav to pay. Amram, שמו את זה מבחוץ נראה לי, לא בפנים. So, כל נפש חיה, any animal, שהיא ברשותו של אדם.
Is that a way to explain נפש חיה? Is that what you come up with a story?
Yeah, it means נפש חיה, any living animal, very interesting language as well, שהיא ברשותו של אדם. So the word רשות, it's by the domain of a person. I think animal, you're referring to animal. Okay?
By the way, there's an allusion here to marriage.
שהיא ברשותו של אדם, which is a domain of a human being, שהזיקה, that was damaged, הבעלים חייבים לשלם. The owners needs to pay. What's the reason that an owner needs to pay for his animal the damage? שהרי ממונם הזיק. What's ממונם? Their money, their asset damage. If you own an asset is damaged, what's the din? You're חייב. שנאמר, כי יגוף שור איש את שור רעהו. The pasuk says, כי יגוף שור איש את שור רעהו, he needs to be responsible for it. So, before I'm asking about the pasuk, what makes me liable for the damages of my animal? What's the reason?
Assets were
My
damaged.
mammon.
Assets were damaged.
Yes, my mammon, my asset was damaged. I'm responsible to pay the damages.
That's only Talia if it's
That's only B'Shusay. Anything that is in my...
Someone else has my as my cow.
That's transfer over to the guy, right. So so far, Rambam says, ברשותו אין ממונה מזיק, my money damage. The pasuk that the Rambam brings, it's interesting. כי יגוף שור איש את שור רעהו. There is a previous parsha already who talks about כי יגוף שור את איש. ואומת, the owner needs to pay חצי כופר. The Rambam takes a pasuk for the next parsha, כי יגוף שור איש את שור רעהו, instead of giving me the pasuk on the first parsha. So it says here, etc. I don't know if you're referring to the end, chayav leshalem, but why is the Rambam bringing me ki gov shor ish et shor re'ehu as the pasuk to know that he is the responsible for the mammon, for the money of his shor, of his animals. So two things mainly by Rambam we see it's clear that he holds it's mammon, what makes the responsibility is because it's my money, and the pasuk is ki gov shor et ish. Let's see the Pirush HaMishnayos LaRambam. I'm looking over here. Hechsher ze. So before we see Hechsher ze, I'm sorry, let's open the Mishnah 1 second. In Daf Tet Amud Aleph. כל שכבתי בשמירתו תת עמוד א', תת עמוד ב', I'm sorry, תת עמוד ב'. כל שכבתי בשמירתו, הכשרתי את נזקו. Anything that I'm chayev on its נזק, I was anything I was chayev to watch, לשמור, I'm מכשיר the נזק. What's the meaning of those words? So says the Rambam over here. Take a look on the Rambam, the notes I gave. Hechsher, what's the word hechsher means? It's not ORB or KN, right? Hechsher, זה שם של משנה זו. That's the name of our Mishnah, Hechsher. So you know ORB, KN, and Mishnah, it's Hechsher. שם זו, של משנה זו, שם נופל, it's a name that falls על תיקון הדבר והכנתו, on fixing something and preparing it, לקבל מן הדינים, לקבל דין מן הדינים, to receive one דין from the דינים, כמו שבארנו בתחילת העירובין. So the Rambam is saying, הכשר means, it's a preparing something to receive the din of the dinim. I'm translating it, but it's hard to understand מה הוא אומר פה. Next one, and that's the most important one. ואמר, שכל מה שיתחייב בשמירתן שלא יזיק באדם, he said, the Mishnah says, anything that a man is responsible not to damage somebody else, אותו הדבר מוכן הוא. That thing is ready. כי בכל עת שיזיק, at any time that he might damage, ואפילו שלא מדעת בעליו, even if the owner doesn't know about it, יתחייב בתשלומים. He will be חייב to make payment. כיוון שלא שמרו. What's the reason he's chayav to pay? Since he didn't watch it. וזהותם אמרו הכשרתי. That's the reason it says הכשרתי. Since I am chayav to watch it, therefore I'm machshir that I am chayav to pay. So the Rambam says very clear, I am machshir to watch. I am machshir. What's my machshir mean? To pay. Since I'm chayav to watch the animal, that's why I have a chiyuv to pay. That's not the Rambam in the Mishnah Torah. The Rambam in Mishnah Torah, Perak Aleph, Halacha Aleph says the reason I'm chayav is because of Shem Mamono. Pshuto becomes Mamono. Here in Perush HaMishnayot, the way he explained the Mishnayot, way different. The reason I'm chayav, it's only because of
Watching over.
since I have responsibility to watch. If I didn't watch, I am chayav. That's not
That's
bichlal.
a continuation.
Different-
If I don't watch, it's going to damage somebody's mamon.
Right, but it's different than Mishnah Torah. By Mishnah Torah, it's because of my mammon. It's not because I need to watch and I didn't watch. But by Perush HaMishnayos, it's because since I didn't watch, that's why I need to pay. Which does bring the following question.
Yeah, but
So the Hechsher is
I
Mukhan?
think it's the reason.
Huh?
Mukhan Lazik, that's
The
Hechsher?
reason I'm chayav because I didn't watch.
Yeah, but Rabbi, what happens
Hechsher is Mukhan Lazik?
Huh?
It's in the state of being Mukhan Lazik, that's
No,
Hechsher.
since I am, what's machshir me to pay? Since I
I
am
to do shmira.
chayav to watch and I didn't watch, that's machshir me to pay of the damages that
Well,
occurred.
according to this, according to the Pirush HaMishnayot, so if it really goes by shmira, why is it saying afilu shelo midato?
Oh, that's my question. Lefi Rambam, the Rambam says very clear, afilu shelo midato. Even if it wasn't midato, it will be chayav. But hold on, Rambam, you said, what's the reason you chayav?
Shmira.
Because of lo shamarta. If you're learning like the Mishneh Torah, that the chiyuv is because it's your money, then even if you didn't have knowledge of what happened, it's still fine, it's still okay. But if you're learning like the Perush HaMishnayot, that the reason you chayav because you didn't watch, if it was shalom midato, why you're chayav? You didn't know about it,
That is special.
right?
Yeah,
If you hold, let me repeat. If you hold like the Mishneh Torah, the reason is chayav because it's mamono. I can understand midato, shelo midato. He didn't know, he still will be chayav.
Anytime that it's
Mamono, your money will be chayav. But if you're learning like the Perush HaMishnayos, Perush HaMishnayos saying the reason I'm chayav because I didn't watch. So if it's lo midati, you cannot blame me why I didn't watch. And if so, what's the reason I'm going to be chayav?
Shlomi Da'ati
Without my knowledge, I didn't know. It happened on the street. I couldn't even watch
happened
it.
that night while you were sleeping.
Right? Yeah,
Or
whatever it
honest,
is.
whatever it
No,
is.
that's honest. But no, שלא מדעתו, even if it wasn't...
אדם לעולם מועד. זה גם הוא אם הוא ישן בלילה.
לא מדבר,
הפיל משהו.
לא, מדבר פה על הבהמה כרגע. שלא מדעתו means at any time that my animal damaged, even if I didn't have the ability to watch the animal, and I'm not at fault, still I am chayav.
That's not being Moshe.
Why? No, not Moshe. Let's say... Huh?
Isn't that honest?
No, not case of honest. The case of
Is there
שלא
an
מדעתו,
in-between case where it's not
the animal
honest,
is
but-
walking on the street, yeah? And I'm riding with the animal suddenly gave a kick. Can I watch the animal not to give a kick? No. זה לא מדעתו. And אני חייב. Why I'm חייב? What's going on over here? So I was thinking the following. In order to understand how the Rambam learns, we have to begin with the question. If I bought an animal, יפה? קניתי שור. I bought an animal from Ilan. Ilan, you're not the right example, you're a very organized guy. Right, I bought an animal from a guy that he trained from Ophir. And Ophir trained the animal to be חיה רעה, you know? And the animal מזיקה והכל. Okay. I bought it from him. I pay him $200 for the animal. Suddenly the animal damaged somebody for $1,000. How much I need to pay? $1,000. Why? Why I am chayav to pay on the animal more than the actual value of the animal and way beyond? My animal damage, my animal is not me. נכון? The animal has feelings. When you go to the store, I went to the store to buy fish for my kids. So the girl over there told me, can you donate to rescue dogs? So I'm like, what do you mean? He said, no, there are dogs that are helpless and they need help. So I said, I donate to rescue human being. She's like, but also dogs need. I said, yes, but also human being needs. She told me, but dogs are helpless. Yeah, I said, but dogs eventually, they have short life and they can move on. A kid cannot move on if it wasn't helped. She's like, okay, but would you donate?
If you donate to me,
No, because she gets percentage out of it. Don't worry. You know, she's not
What do they
like,
correct her? Do they
she's not chasida of the, huh?
What do they correct her? Do they say,
No, I enjoy those moments. I can have stories also. So the approach of people on animal have their own feelings. You can hurt the feelings of the animal. Animal have their own idea. Why am I responsible to pay more than what I paid for the animal? It doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Where is this?
It's not the value of the animal, it's the value of the damage.
Okay, I understand. Why-
So
why
if it's a
is the
match,
animal-
if it's a match costs 1 cent and it lit a fire,
No,
and
no,
make a
I'm
damage.
talking about animal. We'll talk about
Oh,
fire.
okay.
This is nefesh
Or
chaya.
b'zemura.
Animal.
Doesn't
I'm
have
talking-
that.
A regular animal gave a kick. I just put $100. He gave a kick.
He
broke
gave a kick and
glasses.
he trampled the $70,000 Rolex. Oh, his hood that he trampled with is worth something.
Yeah, I need to pay $70,000. My God, where is this such a thing?
No, I'm arguing.
He was supporting.
No, it's
Meaning, why, if my animal act weird, I need to pay over what I paid for the animal?
But what this has to do
You don't
with
need
what
to.
you pay
You
for
don't
the
need to.
animal?
You
It's
don't
not
need to.
about
You don't need
damage,
to.
not how much you pay for the animal. How much you pay for the animal have to do with the damage that the animal made.
No, so I'm saying the whole approach.
Your question is,
Are you saying maybe you
that
should limit?
So it's less than the damage.
Even less than the damage.
All this is an extension of your
If
hand.
somebody gave you an animal for free,
mine.
not you didn't buy it, he gave you a present
No,
for
you're right.
free.
You know, I'm saying it on
Okay.
that way, but
Yeah.
the basis is a question, which is basically that's the basis of Tosfot. Tosfot said that logically I don't need to pay. So what's even between the logic and Balemaisa? I think the Rambam learns the following: Be'emet, a man doesn't need to pay for the damages of his animals. There is no such a thing, because if your animal damage, you don't need to pay. Do you know what you need to when you need to pay for the damages of the animal?
It's expected.
When you have responsibility to watch the animal. This responsibility to watch the animal turns you into an animal, makes you the animal. When you need to watch it, that means any movement that the animal makes, as if you're the one who made the move.
The animal becomes you.
The animal, right, not you, the animal.
That goes
The
to
animal,
your shot of when
the animal. It's easier for people to say that the man is an animal, the animal is a man. But when the animal becomes you, that's not what it is. The animal becomes you. So you are the one who's chayev. Clear? Eran? Since you are responsible for your animal, this responsibility transfer all of the animal to you. Any movement of the animal, as if you did the movement. Therefore, the Rambam says very clear, even shalom idat, you are chayav. Why? Read the Rambam from the beginning now. הכשר זה של משנה זו, the הכשר of this משנה, נופל על תיקון הדבר והכנתו. What's the pshat? You are מתקן, you have it, yeah? הכשר זה של משנה זו, נופל על תיקון הדבר והכנתו. You are מתקן. What's the pshat you are מתקן? You are enabling, you are מכשיר, לקבל דין מן הדינים. So since the Mishnah says, כל שכבתי בשמירתו, if I am חייב in the שמירה, the Rambam says, הכשרתי את נזקו. מה זה פשוט הכשרתי את נזקו? I was מכשיר because of the חיוב of the שמירה, Rambam says, that the dinim of the animal לקבל, the dinim that goes on the animal, לקבל את upon myself. The Rambam continue, ואמר, שכל מה שהתחייב בשמירתן שלא יזיק לאדם, anything that you חייב not to damage a human being, אותו הדבר מוכן הוא. That's considered as מוכן. So what that can damage is מוכן to you as if you damage. כי בכל עת שיזיק, at any time that is going to damage, ואפילו שלא מדעת בעליו, even if the owner didn't know, it's already הכשר, it's מוכן as if it's you. להתחייב בתשלומים כיוון שלא שמרו, וזהו טעם שאמרו הכשרתי. So the Rambam learns, since I am chayev to watch something, it becomes me. What is me? Who is me? Is באמת an animal a human being? No. Let's open the Rambam in Mishneh Torah. כל נפש חיה שהיא ברשותו של אדם. כל נפש חיה שהיא ברשותו של אדם, any נפש חיה, any animal that it is by the domain. What's the domain make a difference? Why it's called ברשותו? What רשותו means?
He owned it.
His possession.
What's the...
מכשיר.
מכשיר. Why רשותו is the מכשיר?
It is responsibility.
Since it's in my reshus, it's machshir me. Then I have chayav to do shmira on it. That machshir me to be the responsible of the animal. Shezika habaalim, the owners, chayavim leshalem. The owners has to pay. She'arei mamonam ezi. When Rambam defined mamonam means, when my money, אהבת את השם אלוקיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. What do we need בכל מאודיך? Some people, their money, they're connected to the money more than they connect to their nefesh, to the body. Some people connect to the body more than they connect to the nefesh. We have a gym and we have, money. We have many ways to connect to the body or connect to the money. So therefore the Torah says money, it's a connection of a person. The only time you are chayav on the animal of a shmira of an animal, only if it's your money. When you are chayav to do shmira, your money becomes you, and therefore you chayav. What's the pasuk that the Rambam brings? Sheneemar ki yigof shor ish. מה זה כי יגוף שור? The Rambam had pasuk in the previous parasha. כי יגוף שור את איש. No, כי יגוף שור איש. שור is איש. שור זה הבן אדם.
שור או איש. Rashi says shor o ish.
No, שור איש את שור אהו. In this pasuk.
And
כי יגוף
or is that
שור איש, שור ואיש, he becomes a איש.
The shor become a ish.
The shor become an ish, and the ish is acting as a shor. So therefore, the Rambam is bring me this pasuk davka to teach you that the shor becomes ish. So if you shor damage, who really damage? You. Says the Gemara in Erchin, the damage is considered milva aksuva batoero. And we ask the question, I can understand if I borrowed money, it's a personal liability. But if my shore damage, how can that be my personal liability? The answer is very simple now. You know why it's Natan? Why if I damage his personal is shiabud? Because if my shore damage, who damaged? Me, on me, I have shiabud. If you understand you're disconnected from your animal, your money damage, that's it, it's you. Yeah, you're right, can be said the same, you're right. So it's you damage. If you damage, then you have full shiabud, and that's going to go over to the heirs, goes over to the Yoshim. They are also responsible for your personal, you damage somebody. The Gemara says, Man de bayi lemea v'chasida, bekayem mili de neziki. It bothers me, why do you need chassid not to do the nezikin? Not to damage somebody, you got to be chassid? Why do you need to damage somebody? That's a basic. Man da'ave lemave chassida lekayem mili de neziki. What the pshat of chassid to do mili de nezikin? What chassid means? Chassid, it's not misnaged, you know? You have misnaged, you have chassid. Chassid is not the opposite of misnaged, the guy is not chassid. Chassid, כתוב, עם חסיד התחסד. חסיד is to connect to Hashem fully. That's Hasidut means. You connect to the chesed, to the softer part of the Torah, which is easier. Connecting to the tough part of the Torah, it's much harder. To connect to the soft, to the warmth of the Torah, that's Hasidut means. The Gemara the Mishnah bring over here, Arba'a Avot Nezikin. לא הרי זה כהרי זה. לא הרי זה כהרי זה. We ask a basic question. If one is not like the other, how come the Mishnah needs to bring all this lo array? But by the end of the day, I can learn one from two. So all the lo array ke lo array, it's mamesh miyutar and unnecessary. How come the Mishnah brings lo array into back and forth when it's not really shaykh? When the Mishnah brings lo array, it is not for the purpose to learn one from the other. As we know, we cannot learn one from the other. So what do we need the lo array for? Because the Mishnah is teaching you how do you develop, like we said last time, the awareness for the animal that should become you. So how do you think like the animal? In order for you to prevent the animal from damage, the reason I make the animal like you, because you gotta have the same awareness, the same mindset of the animal for you to prevent the animal from damaging. So therefore the Gemara says, לא הרי השור כהרי השן. קרן דרכו להילך ולהזיק. שן...
רגל, לא קרן.
רגל דרכו להילך ולהזיק. שן אין הזקה מצוי. However, יש הנאה להזקה. When you live, in a way, the mindset of the damages of the animal, if you know how the animal thinks, you can prevent the damages from the animal to happen. Shava the Gemara says, "Lo arei ashor ke'arei hamave." I need to think when I'm looking at a shore that darko lelech u'lehazik, regel darko lechazik is used to go into damage. So I need to experience that on an ox to make sure it's not going to happen. I need to make sure knowing that shen yesh hana'ah le'ezeko. So when I'm let my animal on the street, I need to be aware that the animal will have need to go and Esh, darko, and koach acher murav bo. So for me to be like that, which is not fully by other, only by animal, other nezakim, it's a little bit different. So the reason the Gemara says, the Mishnah says, again, arba avot nezikin. What's a av means? A father means. Father means, the Gemara says this, ben kara de avua. A father is like a leg, a son is like a leg of the father. Arba'a avot, meaning the owner is the father of the damage. You gotta feel to it as a father. Just like a father takes responsibility for what his kids are doing and acting and behaving, so too, an owner of a damage. That's why it's called Arba'a avot nezikin. It's referring to the damage that occurred from it. Arba'a avot nezikin. The order, it's unbelievable. We have shor, bo, shor,
בור מווה ועבר.
shor, bo, maveh, ve'ever. What shor means? The way the Rambam learns. Shor is regel. Regel.
You learned Zohar.
The Gemara is saying 3. Shor is
Yes.
3.
Yeah, he said letter is 3. That's simple pshat. The way the Rambam learns shor is 1. It's only regel. Right? So the Rambam learns shor is regel. Bo is it's a pit. Maveh is shen. הרמב"ם is shen. הרמב"ם is shen. לא. כן. לפי הרמב"ם it's shen. אז פה תביאו את השיטות. shen and הבאר it's fire. The only yesod of the Rambam that the damage is as if you goes by where? You as if you damage goes by where? Only by show, only by animals. By bo, we never said it as if you did it. Only by animal, kigach show, ish, it's only by animals. By bo, it is not like that. By esh, it's not like that. There is one more thing of damage, which is shen. Is shen considered as an aggressive action or not?
No, because I'm not.
מה אוכלת? ארוחת בוקר, you know?
הגיסה מהרצפה הזה.
No, I'm saying...
No, it eats
What do you mean by an aggressive act?
No, meaning... לא, כאילו...
No, right, that's what I'm trying to understand why you're being aggressive with that. That's
לא,
what I'm
משום
trying to
חיצה
understand.
ומשום אמנות, זה לא פשוט. זה לא מדין בעלות. זה לא מקובל, אוקיי, כן? זה דבר שאין בו ממשות. זה מזכיר משום חיצה.
שן זה להנאתו.
Shen it's a pleasure. Shen it's a pleasure.
אז מה...
Fire is what?
כן?
It's not mamona
כן.
for sure.
כן?
Mano, I lit fire over here. It became to a big fire. It traveled. It went somewhere else. Is that mamona? No. Is that mamona? The Gemara is going to bring it. That's what it is. Yeshom mishum chitzo, yeshom mishum mamona. But in general, we're learning yeshom mishum chitzo. It's an arrow that came from him. Bo. Or has nothing to do with him.
You went to the ball.
Huh?
Somebody went to the ball.
I will say.
You create the damage, right? But it's not, there is no mamono. The Gemara says, שני דברים, אינם ברשותו של אדם, ועשרה כתוב כאילו ברשותו. Two things, the Gemara Aflan, it said two things are not in your reshut, you're not an owner. The Torah made you into an owner, which is? בור ברשות הרבים, and חמץ משש שעות ולמעלה. So in order to be chayav on damages, it's got to be my money, part of me. So the order is the following. We have shor, we have big chidush of the Torah. The shor is you. Shin shor it's you, therefore you chayav. Next chidush is by a bow. Bow, although you not an owner of the bow, the Torah escalate you, escalate you to be the owner of the bow. Shen, it's a big chidush. Because Shen, I need to make sure to watch animal from damages. What's damages mean? An unexpected behavior. Shen, it's not an unexpected behavior. It's an expected behavior. And even though you are responsible for regular behavior, so the responsibility that I have of the Torah, ki yigov shoret ish, this responsibility written by negicha, by unexpected behavior. By regular behavior, I don't have this pasuk, ki yigov shor et ish. That's why it's a greater chidush. Sure, it's a chidush, it's unexpected behavior. Above that you have bo, it's not yours, we made it into yours. But shen,
Unexpected.
what?
Why unexpected?
By Shen.
Eating, it's a regular behavior.
Sure.
No, sure, it's unexpected. The regel and
Why not? You know that you're walking on your
no,
friend
an animal.
field,
No.
and you know she's gonna walk and damage the field.
No, meaning no. Regel. The classic case of regel, she goes on an area that is not supposed to go. If regel went in Reshut Arabim and you had stuff in Reshut Arabim,
Yeah, that's
it's
not a
not
problem.
your fault.
Yeah, but if you lead your animal into your friend field, and she damaged the crops, whatever.
No, okay. If
It's
you
a,
did it,
yeah.
no, but it's not a regular behavior of the animal. Eating, it's a regular behavior.
So the bigger chidush is on Shen.
Regel is not.
So what's the
When she's walking, it's a normal thing for the animal to walk, and if she walk into,
No, but
you
damages when you look regel,
okay.
Stomping, it's like horrible. Why would I not be breaking it down?
דברים שלא כדרכם. That's what I'm saying. זה לא כדרכם.
רגל החומה שלו זה הולך לדרכו.
יפה.
דרכו, לדרך שהוא הולך.
בדיוק, זה מה ש...
No, but still, by regel, only if she brought kelim and did things that is not normal. If you did kedarka, it's not chayav. Only an unexpected שלא כדרכה, then it's chayav by regel.
אבל זה לא במעשה שלו, זה איפה שהיא נמצאת. זאת אומרת, במעשה הוא מעשה בכל מקום, גם ברשות הרבים, גם ברשות היחיד. החיוב שלנו...
נכון, so the awareness that I need to have, it's when she behaves not normal way. Mishain can shen, it's a regular behavior of the animal.
Oh, are you trying to answer why
The order. Why the order is shor, bo,
it should be maveh
shen.
before the boy?
Yeah, right.
So you're saying
Because
it's
my
kiddush-
mav'eh, it's not a action of out of order of the animal, rather it is an action of a regular.
So anything revolving hana'ah of the animal is something that there's no it cannot be understood in a different way. Meaning there's only one way. It's hana'ah is one way, and therefore because hana'ah is one way, so you'd be
It's a
liable
chidush that you have for the now.
for that.
Right.
Why would you not be though? Why would you not be liable? Why is it a chidush? Why is it a chidush? Why would I not be liable if I know it's omedet lazik? Meaning
No, she's not there to damage. An animal eating whatever she sees. So it's not an action of damage.
It's the same thing. She's
Right.
not there to
Yeah.
damage.
Walking makes it harder. You're right regarding walking.
You would be liable if it does damage unexpectedly.
Right,
and walk
you're
away.
right.
Rambam
Walking
saying
would be
that it's
harder.
regular,
But
regular is walking. So
walking would be harder. So I'm taking out this piece. Weiter.
no, what do we do with the order?
I don't know. Don't need to know everything now, Rabbi Ophir. Hopefully I will one day. Okay, so when the Mishnah says, so let's go out of the Mishnah. Arba avot nezikin. The other kasha that why I was bothered, why the Mishnah doesn't say Arba avot v'yas chayavim alehem. There are 4 avot that you are chayav on them. Why it says Arba avot nezikin? Only at the end it says, right, because the Mishnah is not teaching you the chiyuvim. The Mishnah is teaching you your connection between you and your damages. So therefore, the chiyuv is not the relevant part b'chlal in this part of the Mishnah. What's relevant to us in this part of the Mishnah is the connection that a man has between him and the damages. Huh? No, but the chidush of the Rambam is not just awareness. It's I am the animal. So that's the chidush over here. The damages is the sighting.
The connection to the bull also.
The Mishnah is not mechadesh that if your animal damage, you chayav. The Mishnah is mechadesh that if your animal damage, you damage. How we understand that it's you, then we have lo harei zeh, k'harei zeh, v'lo harei k'harei zeh. That's how I explain this is you. Then the Mishnah concludes, and in the case of a damage, chayav l'shalem nezek b'meitav haaretz. Now we can understand why it's got to shalem meitav. Why is paying from the best? There are 3 types of. So if it's you got to pay full responsibility and pay from meitav. So Maskoni, according to the way the Rambam learns, that damages are an action. What makes me chayav for my animal damages is because that I'm responsible to wash the animal. That's what machshir the dinim of the animal to follow me as if I myself damaged the animal. Therefore, the Rambam says that that's converted into mamono. It's your part. Kigov shor et kigov shor ish. Shor ish. The shor becomes. The ish becomes so as if he himself did it. Therefore, the milve of a mazik, of a zek, is considered as milve k'tuva b'Torah, and that responsibility will be giving over to theirs. Why? Because it's me did it. It's like same thing I borrowed money, same thing I myself, a person did it.
By the way, this works beautiful because in the times Beit HaMikdash, when you do something wrong, you bring a korban, and a korban is, some of the commentators say, it's you.
Right.
Meaning it's supposed to be you. So this is
as if it's you.
As if it's you mamash. So you see here, even from the compensation part.
We are like animals.
Huh?
We're animals, people.
למה בקטן זה לא application?